Alfred. You're on with Brendan Bauer, StepIanRules.com, here on All Bets Are Off. How are you today?
Hey guys, great show. It's Joe Mers on Twitter. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Very well. Happy holidays to everyone.
Same to you.
Hey, I'm really enjoying the Cavs talk. You know, I run analogies sometimes with sports like a lot of people do, and I flash back to the young nucleus that we have now. I can say nucleus. I just can't say it fast. But back in the day, we had Price, Hot Rod, Doherty. I guess we'll throw Harper in there. They managed to trade a pick. They managed to trade an asset that was Kevin Johnson, and they got Nance and Sanders. They went out, picked up a couple of mid-level free agents like Elo and John Battle and somebody else whose name escapes me, and they put together a nice team. It seems like we have the nucleus now. You know, we got TJ Miles. It just seems like we're treading water a little bit. You got Kyrie, who's just this budding superstar, and I don't know. It just seems like I don't want to trade Andy, but it's a flashback on that analogy. It seems like he's a piece that we could trade to the right team and get back players that we can build, like Brendan just said, and possibly make a playoff run next year. But for me, as I ramble on here in my diatribe, nothing aggravates me more than to hear Coach Scott say things like, yeah, tough loss, we played flat. How does that happen?
No, and Joe, thank you very much for the call. And that's part of the, I think, criticism that comes towards Byron Scott, because everyone wants an honest coach, but when they say things being honest, people are upset about it.
Yeah, and it's saying all the positives about Byron Scott. I mean, that really shouldn't happen. I mean, in theory, they should come out ready to play every night. I mean, it doesn't happen, and that's frustrating, and that's part of the reason why they're not necessarily winning as much as they should. But like I said before, the difference in wins and losses that they should probably have would be, going from 7 wins to 10, which is, somewhat insignificant. But like Joe had mentioned too, I mean, definitely not, while I say that the Cavs shouldn't trade Bergeron, Chris Grant should definitely take every phone call that comes in and see what exactly is being offered.
Yeah, you at least get his market value, and I'm sure they may have done a little of that last season as well, trying to figure out, well, you know what, if we continue to make this run, is this the right time, the max time to get rid of him? Wayne PPB tweets, what is your opinion of Luke Walton? Is he a keeper?
I don't think he is. I mean, Luke's a good guy. 10-year NBA player, son of a legend, but he's not a keeper. This is probably going to be it for Luke Walton.
Wouldn't you think by now, like, any of his dad's talent would have rubbed off? I mean, like, you look at his numbers and you think, how can he only average 2 points a game and really not do anything in the NBA?
I don't know. I guess he was at least the best of his brothers. There's a number of other Walton brothers, and he at least made it to the end.
Well, I know Dad put up a big plateau for them to step onto, but again, like, I don't know. It's something that had to have been in the water or something to give him a little bit more. Fred, you're on with Brendan. How are you today?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Thanks a lot for the call.
Hey, why would we even think about getting rid of Anderson Varejao when we got problems on the bench as it is, and going down the road, he was one of the best six-man in the league a few years ago, and he's going to get older. We can take his minutes down, run him in off the bench, and use him next year and the year after, maybe the year after. I think he's got a future with this team, and just keep his minutes down so he don't get beat up until we really need him.
Going off what Fred said, kind of something we touched on earlier. Maybe Tyler Zeller can get into that starting lineup, but I think when you have your best player, and I don't want to speak for you, Anderson Varejao being one of your top players on the team, it's hard maybe to sell the rest of the guys, hey, we're trying to win, but we're putting this guy onto the bench.
Yeah, it definitely would be interesting. I think we got to look at the Anderson Varejao situation as the next year and a half. Once his contract expires, we'll be looking to see, are we going to bring Anderson Varejao back? What's going to happen then? But really, the trade conversation is, do you trade him this year? Do you hold him till next year? Do you trade him next year at the deadline? And in the meantime, like you had just said, Gene, he's the second best player on the team. I mean, this is a team that's devoid of talent, NBA-ready talent. So, I mean, if you're going to trade Anderson Varejao, you need some talent coming back.
Scott tried to do that a little bit last year with Antoine Jameson, where they wanted him to be that sixth man.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was your next best scorer on the team, where he eventually made it back to the starting lineup. But you're kind of, I don't want to say you're playing with poison there, but you have to be able to tell your guys, hey, we're trying to win. But you have to also put your best guys out there and try to actually win some games. Norm in Erie, you're up. Norm, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks a lot for the call.
I agree. I would not like to see Andy go anywhere. I would love to see us be able to get somebody at that 3 and make G one of those people coming off the bench. I think that he could stay and play at that role.
Mm-hmm.
But also, maybe I'd like to see Andy and Zeller in there together some.
Yeah, and Norm, thank you for the call. And I think that's kind of what we touched on, where you maybe can move Tristan to the bench, maybe slide Anderson over a little bit and get Zeller in there, now that he's starting to get comfortable in that starting role.
Yeah, I'd like to see the small forward position, addressed in the draft, like the caller had said. I mean, they haven't had a starting small forward since, LeBron left. So they need to address that position. And, Alonzo G is a guy that could definitely come off the bench and add value.
Last one for Brendan Bowers, StepInRules.com. Check out his website. Also, they can follow you on Twitter. What is it?
It's at Bowers, CLE, BOWERS, CLE.
So check him out. As I said, he's at every Cavs game, out at practices, has all the information you need. Last one for Brendan. Chad, you're up. How are you today?
Good, yourself?
Good. Thanks a lot for the call.
All right. First of all, I know I pay attention a lot online, and I know that Andrew Bynum has expressed a lot of interest into coming to Cleveland, especially with them becoming a free agent. Now, him and Kyrie are really good friends. On top of that, Byron Scott and him are good friends. Now, he's more of a small market player, even though he was in L.A. He never did like talking to reporters or anything else like that. I can really see him being wanting the next contract, come to Cleveland next year with the ties with Byron and with the ties with Kyrie. And for everybody that says don't trade Varejao, what are they thinking? What has Varejao really brought to the Cavs? When our heyday with LeBron, he never did get us to that next step. We have to trade him off Doc's high, and like you said, really push for a draft pick. But what do you know about the Andrew Bynum deal, and how do you feel that would play out with him in Cleveland?
Thank you, Chad, for the call. Your thoughts on Andrew Bynum and that whole entire situation?
I'm glad the Cavaliers didn't trade for him this offseason. I think we would be, real frustrated right now if Andrew Bynum was out with, the injury that he's been out with that was further aggravated by bowling. I'm not sure that would be a very good place. I'm not exactly interested in targeting Andrew Bynum in free agency when he becomes an unrestricted free agent this summer.
And that's the thing. You're talking about that injury. That has Cleveland written all over it. That would have been the trade. You sent some guys out there, and then he hurts in more bowling. But we'll see how it continues to play out. Brendan, enjoyed the time. Thank you very much for coming in. Check him out, StepInRules.com. Again, on Twitter, Bowers CLE. Check him out, and we'll have him back again for sure, talking Cavaliers. When we come back, we still have Social Spotlight in this final hour. Plus, we'll jump back into more of the Thad Lewis quarterback talk when we return here on All Bets Are Off.